Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie Caitlin and welcome back to our series on medical internship. Last week we discussed where to do your internship because of course we realized that before you even start your internship, the most important thing, the most crucial thing is to decide where you're going to do your internship before you even embark on the journey of internship. What makes or breaks your career is where you've decided you do an internship. Obviously there's other factors involved, but where you do your internship was one of the most important ones, and we discussed that last week. If you'd like to watch that video, if you missed it, it will be linked in the description box below, and it will also be linked and attached at the end of this video and as well as on the screen right now. So today's video we're going to discuss what you need to prepare, where to live during your internship, what things to prepare, what things to buy, if any. And an important frequently asked question that I get is, what do I need to study? What do I need to know before I start my internship? It's no doubt that when you start your internship, you're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be asked questions that you don't know, but obviously you don't want to go in totally blank, right? There's obviously some things that you need to know, and because you're still in mid school, I'm assuming if you're watching this video is because you haven't done your internship, or maybe you are doing your internship, or you're about to do your internship, or you will do internship one day. That was such a mouthful. And you're considering the things that you need to have known or need to know before you actually embark on the journey of internship. And so that is all we're discussing in today's video, so do stay tuned till the end. I will be giving you guys my tips based on my experience. Like I already said, I did my internship in 2 different countries, in Botswana and then in Tanzania. Both times were unpaid, both times as a foreigner, and I will be giving you guys everything that I have learned from that experience and everything that I should have done differently, all jam-packed into this video. So let's get right into it. You've just celebrated getting through 6 or so years of stress, turmoil, pain, and your hard work finally paid off. But you were a student for all those years, and now suddenly you're expected to be a capable and competent doctor. You are literally responsible for people's lives. Medical internship can make you or totally break you. It's survival of the fittest. Internship is that period you use to bridge the gap between what you learned in med school, what you don't know, and what you need to know as a doctor. It's such a crucial period as it determines the outcome of your career in medicine. So, where do you do your internship? How do you decide that? What rotations do you start with? What do you need to prepare? What things do you need to know before you start your internship? What do you need to make sure you know before you finish your internship? How do you study during internship? How do you balance studying and working? Your mental health? Navigating all the things you didn't get taught in school but are expected to know? Join me on my YouTube channel as I talk about all things internship related in a series of videos this month. Subscribe to my channel and have your notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the videos. So getting right into it, the first thing is accommodation. Why am I bringing accommodation as the first thing? Because I think it's the most important thing that you need to prepare in terms of setting yourself up and getting comfortable. When it comes to choosing where to stay during your internship, if you're not going to be staying at home with your parents, and even if you are doing your internship at home and you do live at home, if your hospital of choice is far from home, you might need to consider moving a little bit closer to the hospital. I definitely recommend living as close to your hospital as possible. Why? It's going to be easier for you to get to work, especially if you don't have your own car or at least reliable form of transport to take you to work and back every day. If you're on call and you do your calls from home and you're trying to commute like a 45-minute drive to and from the hospital every time you're on call, that is not going to work. But at least if the hospital is like a 15-minute drive at most, it's easy for you to be on call at home, and then you get called, you just dash into the hospital. So when I did my internship in Botswana, I did have my car with me, and initially I was staying like 5 minutes from the hospital. It would take me like a 10-minute walk. That was before I had my car. But when I did have my car, I moved a little further because I could, and there was not much traffic. I could get to work at like 15 minutes, 20 if there's traffic in the morning, and at night during my calls it was literally like a 5 to 10 minute drive and I'm at work. Another reason why it might be crucial for you to live closer to work is because in the mornings, trust me, in the first month of internship, it's going to be easy for you to come from wherever because you still have that hype. But in the 11th month of internship, when you are drained, you are tired, you hate everyone you work with, you hate the job, you hate medicine, everything just annoys you, waking up in the morning is going to be so hard. There's going to be days where you just want to wake up 5 minutes before you need to get ready and dim. And that is going to be so hard if you're living 45 minutes away from the hospital. At least if you're living like 5-10 minutes away, it's just waking up, showering and going, and you're there and you don't have to be late all the time. If you're going to be sharing accommodation, try, if possible, if this is a choice that you can actually get and you make your own decision, try as much as possible to share accommodation with people that are going to motivate you to work. There's nothing more demotivating than sharing an apartment or a house or a room with a housemate or roommate that is lazy, that hates the job, that has no sense of like seriousness whatsoever. Medicine is already hard and draining. You don't need an external force also demotivating you further. So that's that when it comes to accommodation. If you're a foreigner, obviously you need to do your like residence permits, your visas and all those things before you start your internship, because you don't want to be taking time off from your internship to go and start sorting out your visa things. That's going to be like a real inconvenience. And so try to make sure that all of this is sorted, or you're sure that it's going to be sorted at least like early into your internship so it doesn't affect your studies. So in terms of like dress code and like what to prepare in terms of your outfits and everything, you are a doctor, right? I always say this, dress how you want to be addressed. If you're going to be in the hospital, there is no need for you to be wearing a short skirt, a little dress that's like open everywhere. I am sitting in my house filming this video. I could be wearing boxers if I wanted to, but if I'm in the hospital, I have to make sure like, certain parts of my body are covered. I have to make sure that, I'm not like, if I bend over, everything is going to be seen, because in the hospital, you're going to be in all kinds of positions. You're going to be doing resus and doing compressions on a person while someone is under your arm, while someone is between your legs. Like, a lot of things happen in emergency situations in the hospital, and you don't want your outfit to be the reason that someone dies. Okay, that sounds a bit extreme, but you get the point. Girls, I'd say, have a lot of blazers, a lot of like pencil skirts, a lot of slacks, a lot of like button-up shirts, a lot of like maybe like blouses, or a lot of like sleeveless tops, blazers. You just like look chic and simple. No need to be like extra with like floral dresses and all of that. Of course, when you go to pediatrics, you can be a little more like color can also be involved. For the guys, if a tie is absolutely necessary, then you can wear one, but most of the time it's really an inconvenience because it's just like getting in the way when you're taking blood or doing a cannula and your tie is like on the patient's arm. That's just a mess. So like, do have like your slacks, your pants as well, a belt. Your shirts should be well, they should be loose enough for you to be able to roll them up the sleeves if you need to. When it comes to scrubs, I definitely do suggest having like 4 to 5 pairs of scrubs. Some hospital will provide scrubs for you. That's well and good. Where I work right now, they provide scrubs. Where I did my internship, they didn't, both times, and so you had to have your own. You can usually get like really comfortable scrubs, different designs. For peds, you can get like really colorful ones as well with like dolls and flowers and whatever, and the kids will cozy up to you more than if you go there like with the tie and everything. They're definitely going to be intimidated and scared. In terms of your hair, you want your hair to look professional as well. It shouldn't be too long past your bum, where when you sit on a patient's bed, your hair is going to be remaining on the bed sheets. When you're doing a cannula, your hair's in your face. That's not very professional. So keep your hair like tied back, or if it's not going to be tied, at least like in a little bob, or at least, just keep it neat. Have pins if you have to. There's no need for you to be a doctor and having hair flying all around and just looking like a mess. Hair color as well. I remember when we were in Botswana, there was a girl who came with pink hair on one day, and she was never brought back to the hospital again with that hairstyle. So you also have to remember these things. If you're going to have a haircut, what fancy designs are you doing? Don't overdo it. Yes, you can look nice and young and chic, but don't overdo it to the point where you stop looking professional. I hope you guys get my point. So this is a frequently asked question. What must I study before I start my internship? What must I know before I start my internship? Guys, let me put this plainly. You can study every single thing in medicine, but internship will still humble you. You will still be made to look like a fool. You will still be made to look like you don't know anything. But obviously you don't want to go in totally blank, right? So there are some preparations that you can make, things that obviously you need to know. You need to know how to take history from a patient. You need to know the clinical features, presentation, and pathophysiology and management of the most common diseases in that area. AIDS, the complications, diarrhea in children, malnutrition in children, bowel obstruction, things that are common all the time. In pediatrics, know the common topics. In gynae, obviously know what PPH is, the 40s. Know the basics. Know like at what centimeter, at what time a person is supposed to reach a certain dilatation. All those things you need to know. As an intern, taking bloods, put a cannula, that is going to be your daily bread. You need to know those things. If you've never done it, obviously if you studied somewhere where you didn't get much clinical practice, this is going to be foreign to you. So always be able to put yourself in a position to learn. So you should have that in your mind that yes, I don't know anything and it's okay. And I am not expected to know much because I'm just an intern, but I'm also not expected to be totally stupid either. So don't go in blank, don't go in blindly. Study all those things that during your studies in each department, gynae, surgery, peds, internal medicine, emergency, whatever, those were the things that were most commonly stressed. Know those things. You guys want me to do a video where I talk about the most important things in each department, like in each specialty, like surgery, gynae, obs, peds, internal medicine? Let me know and I'll be sure to do that in a separate video altogether or in a different series altogether. So drawing closer to the end, in terms of things to buy, obviously as an intern you need a stethoscope, you need a torchlight. Don't be that person, guys, that goes around using your phone and putting it in people's mouth. Don't use your phone like in someone's private areas. Have like a torchlight, a little pin torch that you keep in your pocket. Also, you need to have a notebook. As an intern, there's a lot of things to jot down. Your patient's history, not only that, but during ward rounds, the specialists are going to be teaching you a lot of things, got asking you questions. You need to jot that down, because if you're asked a question today and tomorrow you don't know, why? Because you forgot. Why didn't you write it down? I remember when I did my internship last year in Tanzania, during my internal medicine rotation, we had the head of department at that time. She would chase you from her ward round if you didn't have a notebook, and if you were not seen writing something by the end of that round, it was going to be trouble for you. Obviously you need scrubs. I've already said have like 4 to 5 pairs, so that if you can't wash them, you can at least have, like, for the week, have like 3 white coats, because your white coats are gonna lose color, they're gonna get dirty, so at least have like a few spares. Have Crocs or like some comfortable sneakers or shoes or whatever. In the hospital, pens disappear like no man's business. Have like a stock of pens. If your hospital doesn't provide stationery, have a stock of pens. You need snacks for your calls. Sometimes if the hospital doesn't provide food, there's no need for you to get hypoglycemia while you are the one on call. There's no need for you to end your call on a drip. You also need a good phone. Why? Because you're gonna need to do a lot of like research on the go. You need a phone with like a good battery. When I say a good phone, I don't mean like the latest iPhone, but I mean like a phone whose battery is solid, a phone that you can use to browse the internet quickly and search something if you need to. You also need like a good laptop or an iPad or a tablet, something of that sort, for you to prepare your presentations, because as an intern you are going to be preparing presentations. So you need to be able to do that well. Another thing that I would suggest that you get is like handbooks, pocketbooks, like the Oxford Handbook of Clinical Medicine, gynae, those books, or like other pocketbooks that you can get. Alternatively, you can just have these books on your phone, but I always prefer to have like books for each subject or for each rotation that you're going to be in for your internship. And then obviously you need a study desk, guys, because you need to study during internship. There's a lot of learning that you need to do. So obviously have a comfortable work setup prepared before you actually start your internship. So other things that people might not think of, like in terms of preparing for internship, is like a gym subscription. Why? Internship is draining. You need somewhere to go and like let your steam, what is that statement? Let the steam out, let the steam blow. That statement, you know what I mean. You need somewhere to like, so like whether it's the gym for you, whether it's a library thing, whether it's a cafe, whatever it is, like find something and have it ready on standby all the time that is easily accessible and isn't gonna break your bank. Also, just like have a nice circle of friends nearby. Make friends with people around where you're doing your internship. And then the last thing is just like mental preparation. Like I already said, you're not gonna know everything. Internship is going to make a fool out of you. Internship is going to drain you. It's going to almost kill you. And if you know this before you go into it, it's not going to kill you at the end, right? So yeah, that's basically all I have to share in terms of preparing yourself for internship, physically, emotionally, everything. Obviously pray. I would actually suggest that you fast before you start your internship, that this internship might be, you know, the launching pad of your career, of an amazing career. I'm so thankful that both internships that I did, the internship that I did in Botswana set me up to be a great intern in Tanzania, and the internship that I did in Tanzania set me up to be a great doctor in the field that I'm working now, and I'm so thankful to God for that. And so yeah, you know, this is the time that you're gonna be shaken and tried, so you really need to be grounded in terms of like your spiritual aspect of life, your emotions, your mental, everything is going to be like disturbed during your internship, so you need to be prepared for that. But other than that, this is the end of the video. I hope you guys got some, you know, insight into things that you might not have considered preparing for your internship. Last week we spoke about where to do your internship. If you missed that video, do go and watch it. I gave you guys tips and suggestions and questions to ask yourself when trying to decide which country to do your internship in, where, what kind of a hospital, all of that. And so the link for that is in the description box as well. At the end, the link for that is going to be in the description box as well as at the end of the video. That was such a mouthful. Next week, we're going to be discussing what to expect during your internship, what rotations to start with, how to set up your rotations, how to study, how to balance life and your internship and your studies and everything in between, what to expect from your internship, all of that. So do stay tuned for that video. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Do leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions, anything that you'd like to ask me, anything that you'd like me to prepare for another video in the series, or if you have any ideas for another series that you'd like me to do in the future. Leave all of that in the comment section below. Leave a like, share this video with your friends or your family, anyone that you know that might be doing internship soon. I've talked way too much. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.